Welcome back, everybody. DerrickSoo, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. Well, Sunday night, Monday early morning, I had a really dangerous situation right here at my door. And that situation is somebody came across the concrete barriers into my area. And then on top of that, they went underneath this tarp that covers the front of my entrance. And then you see that little white sheet, or that sheet right there, has Velcro on it. And so the slightest movement, starts, how Velcro sounds. So even a rat going in there, it triggers that sound. And so this was just in front of, just after midnight. It was about 12:30. And I had some four-legged vermin running around, so that wasn't a big deal. Then I heard the first layer of Velcro peel back. And I said, God, that's got to be somebody's dog. Yeah, and then suddenly the second layer started peeling. Well, that's when you know it's dangerous. Somebody's coming in, because that second tier of Velcro is at a height where an adult or even a small child needs to peel back so that they can gain entrance to that. And then what I called out to them, I said, take another step, you're about to be shot, which they would have been. I would have fired right through my wall. But at the same time, the reason why I say that, in past attempts, I've had two solid attempts on my life down here with knives, and where they came through the door anywhere from midnight up till 4 in the morning and armed with a knife. And so I had to use what means I had available to me and do what I needed to do. And so anyway, it brings into question, do I need to use deadly force or not? Given what's happening here throughout Oakland, throughout the Bay Area, the shopping centers, crime has gone just crazy and off the charts. And so, just like yourselves, if in your home, if your doors are closed and locked and somebody's rattling the door, what are you going to do? Are you going to call 911? And maybe 911 will show up in about half an hour, 20 minutes, because I guarantee it will not be 8 minutes, even in the most hallowed hours of the night. So they're not going to respond, and you're going to have to respond to that and take care of what that is banging on your door, like I did. I got up, I gave it a moment. The person was not advancing into my shelter, but they were right at my doorway, holding this sheet open because there was a lot of light coming in. So I got up. I had my pepper spray in hand. This is what I use. This is non-lethal and a way where I don't have to hurt the person to make them move. So anyway, when I get to the door, this individual is obviously intoxicated on meth and asked me a stupid question, and I said no. And so I tried to send that person on their way. They wouldn't move. And what I ended up doing, which is an extremely effective means and doesn't hurt the person, but it sure sobers them up real quick. It's called a water cannon. It's my fire extinguisher that's water. It's powered with 100 psi of air pressure, and so I doused that person, from chest to toe, not the face. And so anyway, sent that person on their way, and it's a nice chilly 52 degrees outside, so I'm sure they enjoyed the water shower at that time of the morning. But they refused to move. They weren't really coherent and weren't responding. And rather than physically getting into a physical altercation with this individual, I deployed the safest way to back them off. And that was just drenching them with water. And like I said, it sobers you up real quick, because that person has sobered them up real quick too after they got on the other side of my K-rail wall. The whole time, my dog never got out of bed. So that's my guard dog. And anyway, that's the kind of stuff that happens here in the homeless camps. And sometimes these are by gang members looking to take over a shelter like mine, because it has electricity, it has a lot of amenities that they look for, and so they are willing to pretty much die for it if necessary in some cases. And then some are just looking to steal some parts or pieces or whatever they can run off with. And so these are type of things that could be life or death, either for myself or for them. If they bring in a weapon, they're meaning harm to you. They're not there just to scare you, so to speak. Sometimes they are, but if you really push or you resist, they'll kill you. We've had 2 known stabbings here, and we had 1 execution here in the last 2 years. So it is dangerous out here. And then that person that I finally drove off, I also mentioned to them that should they come back again, that it's not going to be good for them and their health, because who knows what they're going to bring back. I know that this individual did steal 2 weeks ago 2 of my good knives from my knife set. So I can't prove it, but that was the last person I saw close by my wash tub that I normally keep out here. Those knives have to be soaking in there, and the handles were sticking out, and so that obviously caught somebody's attention. It's the next morning when I came out, I noticed that those knives were gone, and that was the last person that I saw hanging around here, and that was at like 2 in the morning. And they don't belong to this camp. They're not known, and everything that came out of this individual's mouth had nothing, no relevance to anything going on in this world. So anyway, sorry about that. Dangerous situations. A lot of you folks that are housed, you have to set up a layered security system like I did, where number 1, I have the wall and a gate between the street and my area. Once you advance into my area, now you're trespassing. And then I have this barrier, which is the tarp. It's kind of like a loose security door, because anything that you have to move this in order to get under it to get to the front door. And so they went under this. Clear violation. Now that's inside your home. That's like somebody just walked through your front door. And then I have this door, which doesn't really function in any way other than keep wind off. And then I have this plastic, and you hear that. And that's the Velcro. When I heard that second one go off, that's when I grabbed my weapon, because the person coming around the corner isn't there to say, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, there's somebody living here. No, they're not doing that. They're there to hurt you, harm you, rape you, kill you, murder you, or whatever. But it's not there, and they're not going to leave with you breathing still. So it's dangerous out here. We need to get folks off the streets as quickly as possible, especially since now we're starting to stand up tiny home villages. And so we need to have more of these for the folks that are truly needing to get off the streets, like myself. I'm kind of the leader. Well, I am the leader and founder here, and I've been slowly getting folks into housing. And so through the last couple of years, with the different programs that have become available, I've been able to bring this camp's numbers down from 32, where it was pre-COVID, down to today where we're at 12 people. And these are some special needs folks that I'm still working with. And I'm working with these folks on programs that are not part of city, county, or state programs. So these are programs that will be tailored to their needs personally. And it'll intertwine with housing. So we're working on those. Once I'm able to get the last of these folks off the streets and into some safe, secure, permanent housing, that allows me to leave. And so until then, we're trying to also raise some funds to help those folks, because one is literally in hospice and he has no income. We've been doing everything that we possibly can to keep him sheltered, covered, reasonably warm. With the cold weather this morning was one of those that was very concerning, because it got down to 42, 43 degrees right here at this site. So that's dangerously low, and historically at 38 degrees, that's when people start dying, literally dying. We've had 3 deaths in this camp at 38 degrees. So that's how I know that 38 degrees is the deadly number. So anyway, I decided to let that person walk, gave them the option to not come back. If they do, their consequences were spelled out to that individual. So hopefully that ends that argument with that person. But there are a lot of dangers out here. I've handled several where they literally just came in my tent to kind of bum rush me, but then because I had a gun, that stopped all of that and harm that they intended, because I wouldn't come out of my tent. At night, you never come out of your tent when somebody calls you out. So it's real important that you always are mindful of your own safety. Whenever you're out at night, you have to have your head on a swivel. Any movement you have to be aware of and identify what that is. I have to also, especially since sometimes in the middle of the night, the dog needs to go out. And so I am very aware of my surroundings, who's moving, who's in it and around it. All my senses are on high alert. So those are the danger hours, because that's when we had a lot of bad things that have occurred in the past. That's when it happened, in the dark, typically between 11 and 4 in the morning. And those are always dangerous times. And after that, it really tapers off. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.